Hi guys, today I'm here with a story time, and I know that I haven't been here for a while. A lot of things have happened. If you guys are not interested in knowing what happened and just want to skip to the story, I will leave an annotation something around here so you guys can just go skip to the story and not hear about this. So some of you guys may have noticed that I haven't uploaded in over a month, and that's because I've had a few issues with my mental health, and I didn't really have the strength to come here and film videos and post them. And yeah, I know that I've taken a few breaks on my YouTube career. It's not really a career, but whatever. And it feels like every time I come back I just patch up some quick excuse and move along, but this time it was a little bit more serious than that. As you guys probably know, I've gone through a few changes in my life, and that kind of affected me a little bit and put me in a spot where I'm still not sure what I'm supposed to be doing, and I don't know, I think that I took a turn to the worse and I started feeling a little bit lost, and I started feeling like I didn't really want to do the things that I wanted to do and I love to do, and I stopped doing so many things, and it kind of sucks. Just to put you in perspective, I started working my full-time job, and then I stopped everything else. I stopped going out, I stopped talking to my old friends, I stopped talking to my new friends, I stopped going to my martial arts practice, which is something that I loved, and last week I didn't go, and this week I'm only going one time, which is today actually, the time that I'm filming this. And I don't know, I just put a bunch of excuses, like I didn't talk to them because I didn't talk to my friends because I didn't have time. I wanted to have time to talk to them. I was always busy. I just patching up some excuses. I didn't go to practice because I was sick, because I wasn't feeling okay, because I needed to rest, but generally it was just because I didn't want to. And with YouTube it was kind of the same. I just didn't want to, and it kind of sucks that I am losing the will to do things that I love. It just really sucks, and I want to do YouTube videos, I want to continue doing YouTube videos, but I don't know, I feel like I have to push myself to do things because I like doing them, but so that's basically what happened. I had so many great things planned. I was going to do a whole month themed around Halloween. I had a bunch of videos planned out that I was so excited to do. A lot of tutorials. I was going to do makeup tutorials. I was going to do a surprise for you guys. I was going to do so many things, but I just completely crashed down, and I could only manage going to work and going back home. I'm always with things on my eyes. I have no idea why. That was the only thing that I could manage, was getting up, going to work, getting back from work, and going to bed, and I just didn't want to do anything else. So I ended up missing Halloween altogether, except for this one video, which I really wanted to at least post one Halloween video. I thought of skipping Halloween altogether, but I just couldn't. I even wanted to skip Halloween, and I love Halloween, so you could see how fucked up I am, and it's just, my anxiety is just kicking through the roof. I get really anxious. I get really almost panic attacks, I'm not gonna lie, with the most basic, simple things, and I'm getting really scared. I'm getting really scared that I'm getting to a point where I can't really function as a person. This has become a really sad and depressing video. I swear to you guys, it was just not my intention. I just wanted give you a quick update, and it turned into a 5-minute long rant about how fucked up I am, but sorry about that. So I will try to upload 2 videos a day? No, Jesus Christ, a week. I will try to post 2 videos a week, but don't expect that to actually happen every week. I may skip a few uploads. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be real. I want to, at least till the end of the... Goddamn, I have so many cat hairs. At least until the end of the year, I wanted to keep uploading 2 times a week, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to manage that, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. So without further ado, let's go to the story. I will try to cheer up a little bit because this has become really depressive, and you guys are probably like, well, I came here to have a good time, and now I feel sad. So yeah. So this story happened around 2008, 2009, I'm really not sure, and at the time I was 16, 17, and this actually happened with one of my best friends, Miglu, which you probably have seen in this channel like a bunch of times, but a bunch of times, like 2 times, 3 times, okay, a bunch of times. I've seen him a bunch of times on my channel, and this happened with him, and at the time we usually went to a matinee. It was weird. It was like a metal and punk and goth bar, and it did, you know, standard nightclub things like Thursdays, Sundays and Saturday. Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays, and then Saturdays afternoon it had like a matinee kind of session for, you know, younger people and people that couldn't go night. It's more for younger people or wherever. So since we were like 16, 17, we weren't really allowed to be out the whole night. We had to come in the last train, which was like 1:30, I feel, and like 1:30 is the time where things are starting, so we're always pretty sad that we had to leave when we were starting having fun. Like, we went to the matinee and then we went a little bit to the night session, but like 1:30 when people were starting coming in, we had to go away, and it's all really depressing. So one time, if it wasn't the first time, it was one of the first times, we could convince our parents to let us come in the first train in the morning, which was like 5:30-ish, 5:30, 6 a.m, something like that, whatever. And we managed to convince them to let us come early because, I mean, we were together, like, our parents knew each other, they had come, you know, they were okay with it, whatever. So we were so happy, like, we had an amazing time, we were like, whoa, yeah. And we were in the train, and between 2 stations, the train just stops. It just stops. It was really weird. It wasn't like, I mean, we didn't feel anything. The train just stopped between 2 stations. And this is really weird, like, this never happens. And we were like, oh, what's happening? But it's something wrong. But, you know, since we didn't really went in the first train in the morning, we kind of were like, well, maybe it's normal, like, we don't know what is happening. And there wasn't any announcement, there wasn't anything that I can remember. I'm not sure, I will ask Miguel, but I don't think that there was any announcement. The train just stopped, and then after a while, like maybe 10 minutes, this was a long time ago, this was on like almost 10 years ago, so my memory of this is a little bit fuzzy, but like something that seemed like 10-15 minutes, we noticed that you could open the doors, which is something that you can't do unless you're in the stations. So that was a little bit weird, like, why? What's happening? And we started seeing people walking on the tracks, and that was a lot more awkward, like, what is happening? Did something happen? I remember that I told jokingly, well, maybe we hit something or something. Maybe we hit something. And Miguel was like, oh, stop it, you're being stupid, don't joke with that. And I was like, well, I don't know. And at this point, I decided to go check it out, what happened, because, well, you could, so why not? And we weren't really at the far back of the train, we're like 2-3 carriages back. We weren't really on the far back, but we were pretty back. I don't know how to explain it. So I decided to take a peek. You know, you could open the doors, you can check out, and I decided to just pop my head out, like boop, and check out what was happening. So I opened the doors and I looked, and before I even understood what I was seeing, my body just starts shaking. Like I meant I was seeing something and my brain wasn't finished processing what it saw, but my body was already responding, and I was shaking from head to toe, and I had to hold on to the door. And then I realized that I basically saw half a man and half a lady. Like I saw from here up from a man, and then I saw from him back, from here down to a lady. So I basically saw half a human and then another half of another human, and that just freaked me out, and I started shaking. And Miglu asked me, what's happening? What did you see? Because he was too scared to see. And he started, well, what's happening? Why are you shaking? And I was like, well, I just saw half a man there and half a lady there. And he was like, wait, what? Did you see people dead? And I was like, yeah, they had to be that. Like, I saw half and another half, but not together. So that really fucked me up a little bit, and I was really shaking, and I was like, that was my first, I think that was my first contact. It was my first, like it was my first contact with dead humans, let's say it like that. I mean, I had a pet that died. I had 2 pets that died, so I don't... See how this story fucks me up? I can't even speak. It was really weird. Like, you could see half of a person and half of another person, because they were just laid down in the tracks. It was really fucked up. So then we waited for what seemed hours, but it wasn't that long. It was like 1 hour, 2 hours, but it seemed like a long time because we were shaking so much. We were really nervous about it, and at this point everybody in the train knew what was happening, and everybody was a little bit shaken up about what happened. So we waited a little bit. We actually called Miguel's father to try and, you know, I called my mother, he called his father, trying to, you know, warn them, oh, we're gonna take a little bit time because this is what happened. Somebody died on the tracks, and we're gonna have to wait for the tracks to move again, because we were pretty far. It's not like we were a distance that we could walk, so we waited. I don't really remember. Actually, I don't really remember how we got home that day. If somebody came to pick us up, I know that we waited and the train started again, but I can't really remember how we got home, what station did we hop off. I don't really remember. My memory is a little bit fuzzy. But yeah, we had to wait a long time to get home, and yeah, and that sucked because it was one of the first times that we actually took the morning train. So now every time that I have to take the morning train, I freaking remember that story. Like, and unfortunately, it's not like it's a very uncommon thing for people to be killed on the tracks, either train or the metro. I feel like metro is a little bit worse, but it happens from time to time, which kind of sucks. Basically what happened, because this actually came out in the news the next day, so our parents could be sure that we didn't make this up. But yeah, this came in the news the next day. What happened was that there was a couple that went to the docks, which is like an assortment of bars near a place near Lisbon. It's hard to explain, but if you know what it is, it's near Belém, Docas, the docks. There's a lot of bars there, and basically what happened, a couple was having fun then, and then they decided to come home. But since they were lazy, they didn't want to go through the air, you know, the little stairs thingy, the air passage thingy that people go over the tracks. So they decided to jump the fence, which it's really weird, because if you see the place where it happened, it's a pretty big fence and it's an open place, so it's not like you couldn't see the train. everybody thinks this is weird, and until today everybody thinks that this was really weird, a freak accident, because you could see the train like from miles, like kilometers ahead. So it's not like it came by surprise. You could hear it and you could see it. So they had to be passed out drunk to have gone over. But even if they were passed out drunk, how did they get over the fence into the tracks, and then nobody really knows what happened and they got hit by the train? Because again, the place where this happened, there was nothing. Like, it was, you had the tracks and then you had a large street, and it was like a straight ahead street. I don't know, what am I saying? I'm not explaining this properly, but it's like you could see from kilometers. So it's not like you couldn't see the train coming. It was really freak accident. So they didn't want to, they didn't want to take the time to go to the air passage, so they decided to jump the fence, and they ended up getting hit by the train. So, lesson learned, guys. Do not be lazy, or a train can take your life. Yeah. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this story. It's not really a story that you can enjoy. Subscribe if you're not already. Let's be friends. Put a like on it, and we'll see you next time. Bye!